In 1930s and 40s, Mauser rifles were used to kill thousands of Jews. In 1960s, 70s and 80s, Mauser rifles were used to save thousands of Jewish lives. You cannot deny that the international arms trades are absolutely crazy. German Mauser SP66 in the service of Israel Defense Force is here. Let's see what this puppy can do. Mauser SP66 Sniper Rifle history starts in the middle of 70s. But before we'll dive into the details, I want you to go with me to the range, and I'm going to use a photonics, which is a colorless scope 6x, to see what this rifle can do as far as the hostage rescue shots and some trick shots. So let's roll the footage. You cannot make this shit up. This rifle is a laser. So as you can see, the rifle can handle the trick shots at 700 yards. That famous hostage rescue shot when you're shooting a little flipper, a terrorist, and then I ran the gongs without any issues. This truly is a fascinating performance from this rifle. It is pleasure to shoot. I also shot a group on camera with that 6 power scope at 710 yards. So here's the footage. And that group, guys, was around 0.7 something MOA. The reason I didn't really pay attention to that group, because most of the time I spent with this rifle with the Nimrod 10 power scope, which for extra power magnification, but I think the 10 power glass fits that rifle perfectly. And this is the best group I shot with it, and I will tell you on average this rifle was grouping at the extended ranges in sub half MOA territory. I'm not joking. This is all with the Norma 175 grain match ammo, and this ammo performs extremely well in this rifle. But let's see, these were like presets, right? So I knew I dialed in at that distance and you could keep ramming the shots at that distance. But let's see how that Nimrod 10 scope in this rifle, Jelly, when we have a little bit more challenge, the tactical challenge, where you have to actually dial those old turrets and see how it is performing. So let's roll. We got the wind down the field, we got the sun coming out and in and out. We got the very small targets. This should be fun, guys. All right, we are starting right away with 300 yards. One shot, one kill. Ula, are we ready at 300?
Yes, we are. Let's go.
Small target only. Okay, that's a hit. I got him on the right side a little bit, but that wind is changing so quickly, guys. So it will be dicey today. I'm not joking. But this rifle can shoot, so we'll see how this is going to end up. Ula, 375, not 350, 375 small target, okay?
Okay.
And I gotta put the value on the turret. Hopefully that will do it. Let me know when you are ready.
It's ready.
All right, 375 small target. We never shot that target before, and I see I had the strong deflection already at 300 from the wind, so I gotta adjust for the wind. And boom, windage was perfect, right in the middle of windage wise of the target. Ula, 400. 400, yes. 400, and I will go again for the small target. We're killing the small targets only. It feels like hunting a hobbit. Lord of the Rings, Jewish edition, IDF SP66 from Germany. You cannot make this shit up.
Let's go.
Alright, you good? Alright. 400 yards. And wind is kind of slowing down. Dead in the center. Nothing but the south of the seal. Ula, 450, but the 450 again, Hobbit, midget, target. I told you guys, Jewish Lord of the Rings, it's happening today. Oh my god, I'll go straight to hell. And I need 4+1 on that. So you know that prone like target.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, there we go. This is a difficult target. It's in a prone position. Right in the neck. Beautiful hit. Nothing can hide from the SP66 today. Ula, 500 yards, again, small target. 500 yards, small target, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so that should do it for the 500. All I gotta do is watch out for the wind.
Let's go.
And that wind is changing. Literally, guys. Beautiful hit. Oh my gosh, this rifle can shoot. 500 yards. Hobbit again. These are really small targets, guys. I'm not kidding. They are really tiny targets. But enough with the bullshit talk. Ula, we should go to 550. Okay, 550, I got a full-size target, so that will be a little bit of the break for me. And that wind is just crazy. It comes and goes. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that wind is coming and going. The same with the sun. Sun is just the clouds are moving in. We had a lot of stormy weather during the last night, and the clouds are popping out, popping in. And the light conditions are changing on the field. How are we doing with that 550, Ula?
It's waiting for you.
Alright, I should just shut up. That's her cue for me. Alright. right in the neck. So throat surgery was completed on 550 yards target. 550 is neutralized. Time to go for the 600. Ulla will go for the small target, okay? Habit target. I told you guys this habit target time. I have for the 600. I got 2. Let me see, 1, 2. Yep. All right. Round in the chamber. Wind is kind of slowing down. That's interesting. I'm feeling on my face, but I think it's weaker. Well, are we good with that 600 small target?
Yes, we are.
All right. Now aim a little bit lower because I got a tendency to shoot high with that normal ammo. And look at that, that's a hit. I think I'm low on the plate, that's what I seen in the scope. But right in the middle windage wise, yeah. It's a little bit low, but you know what guys, this is such a small plate. I'll take that hit. Ulla, we good with 600. We good with 600. Time to advance to 650. 650. How much correction I need? 5 from 5.5. 1, 2, 3. And that should take me on that plate. But this is a full-size plate, so I got a little bit more forgiveness on that wind, which I'm telling you guys, I know you probably not understand what I'm talking about, but that wind is changing on the flight. It's going from left to right and then bouncing back and right to left. It's crazy. It's a crazy day. Well, are we good with that 650?
Yes.
All right. All right, good grip on the rifle, good eye position behind the scope, and I think I'll push to the left. And boom, that's a hit, a little bit on the left side. You know what guys, I'm not going to complain about that hit. I pushed to the left, you hear me, I said I'll push to the left and we are a little bit on the left. That was based on what I was feeling at that moment when I made that shot. And it's a good hit, I'll take that hit. Ulla, 700 yards, and we'll go for the small target, okay?
Okay.
Habit size target. Round in the chamber. And let's see what we can produce there. Again, sun is fully out. I was hoping for the shade. I like shooting in the shade, but it is what it is.
Let's go.
All right, Ulla is ready. Look at that, my cover just exploded from the scope. Wow, what a fail. But let me see, I hear the hit on the plate and we are on the right shoulder. We are on the right shoulder, guys. You cannot, like, even with the malfunction of the covers for the scope, normally I wouldn't run them, but this is the antique scope. I'm really happy with that hit. That's it. Back to the studio. Boom, there you go. Again, I would say this was a fantastic performance. Guys, we were going mostly after those midget-sized targets, habit targets, and the rifle has absolutely no issues ramming them down at the extended ranges. As far as accuracy, I have no. Basically, it's jaw-dropping how the Germans did that. I am absolutely shocked and in awe that this rifle consistently can deliver sub-half MOA performance when you need it most. So there's no question about that this was the successful design. And this rifle started its life from the Model 66, which was a hunting rifle for the Mauser. And on a side note, not many people know, but the gentleman named Walter Gehman was involved actually in designing that totally different Mauser action. Everyone knows that the Mauser action from before the World War I, World War II. Basically, everyone knows that Mauser action. But what we have here on this rifle is completely different. This is a short stroke action. The whole thing was redesigned, and it was something completely different from what the Mauser was doing. And the Gehman was responsible for it. So who was Walter Gehman? He was a competitive shooter for Germany, and he made his first footprints in the 1930s, where he was involved in the target shooting, and he was doing outstanding job. The Walter design for the Germans, the shooting jackets, shooting gloves, even shooting boots. He was completely obsessed with the shooting sports. We don't know much about the Walter's involvement, what was happening during the World War II. That was kind of sanitized from his bio. But after the war, 1949, he opened his own company. The company exists to this day. You can see the Gehman products, buy Gehman products, their upper sights and the iris sights, but mostly shooting jackets, slings and things like this, the shooting equipment for the shooting sports. So, but at some point he worked with for the Mauser, and he is a brainchild behind that very, very specific Mauser action. There is another thing which not many people know about those SP66 rifles. You got basically two screws at the bottom, and when you will remove those screws, the one is here and the other one is covered by the bipod, but when you will remove those screws, you can pop up the barrel and quickly change the barrel. So we're talking about the SP66 specific was basically 1975, 1976 creation, but the on-the-fly barrel change was kind of, I would say, ahead of the time for the rifle manufacturers. Of course, right now, Accuracy International, the Barrett, right? Everyone has on those precision rifles the barrel changes, and you can swap the calibers quickly. But the Mauser did that already. Mauser 66 hunting rifle had that already in the 60s, and there were like 3 different groups for the calibers. But like this is a 308, SP66 was only made in 308. But if you will get the 3006 barrel for it from that Model 66, I would say they are compatible. And unless I'm mistaken, but you could switch on the Model 66, on the hunting version of that rifle, you could switch from 308 to 3006, the barrel. You're keeping the same bolt. The bolt had like a different calibers, supported 3 different groups. So very neat and cool design. And literally, it is extremely simple. 2 screws, you're removing the action screws, you're putting the new barrel, torquing the screws, you're done. And that's, in this rifle, we're talking about mid-70s, guys. So absolutely incredible. But going back to the 70s, end of 60s and 70s, why there was such a need for those rifles? So the 2 things were happening, right? The Vietnam War was winding down, and then we, of course, had the rise of the terrorism too, especially in Europe. And not many people may remember this, but the Munich Olympics, Summer Olympics 1972, complete failure of the German police with the hostage rescue. It was more like a hostage massacre. And unfortunately, the Germans dropped the ball on the multiple levels, but it was even a breakdown with the sniper rifles. And snipers, what they used, they supposed to be snipers, they were not really the snipers. or marksmen, and it was a complete fiasco. So that was like an eye-opener, the 1972 massacre, and that was done by the Black September, the group connected to Palestinians. So as you don't remember, you want to refresh it, type basically the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre, and you will get a lot of info. It was the Israeli team, Olympic team, was basically slaughtered by those terrorists. But all I was saying was the rise of terrorism in the beginning of 70s, late 60s, across the Europe, and a lot of manufacturers were seeing this, gun manufacturers were seeing this as an opportunity to go and start producing the sniper rifles, because suddenly the people realized, like, hey, just the regular brute response, police brute response, will not bring the results because of the casualties involved and everything. So you need like that scalpel tool to make precision shots, minimize the collateral damage, and still take the bad guys out. So the counter-terrorism started booming, and one of the tools often used by the counter-terrorism groups is, of course, the sniper rifle. So SSG-69 was created then. The Mauser, the SP66, right? And on the American side, we were coming out from Vietnam, and we have learned the lessons. And the Marine Corps was transitioning from M40 to M40A1 in that mid-70s to mid-80s. The evolution of that whole rifle, that's a very interesting period for the sniper systems, sniper weapon systems, developments for the scopes, reticles, and everything. I think it's a fabulous time. But going back to the SP66, so of course that rifle was sold all across the world. That was a very successful rifle for the Mauser, and many militaries were using it. Most significantly, this rifle is known in the US because of the Israel Defense Force use, and a lot of those rifles coming to United States are from the IDF arsenal. This one was imported by the DWJ Imports, and Mr. Roger from the DWJ Imports was extremely helpful and guided me and helped. And this episode is possible thanks to Roger. So as you can see, there is still green paint on that stock on the rifle. That's original paint from the IDF. I did not change that, and I actually wanted to have exactly this example because this example was used, this example was shot, so it has some cool history. And the rifle is absolutely amazing. If you will look at the design, what the Germans did, it is kind of jaw-dropping. The one thing what I will say, the trigger was set very light, was barely over a pound, so I had to crank it up, the trigger, and I don't like such a light trigger, so I put it to the 3 pounds. But there is a screw on the left side. When you're behind the rifle, you will remove the bolt action. There is a screw on the left side, and you can adjust the tension of the trigger. If you have any questions how to deal with that rifle, let me know, email me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out setting it up and things like this. So going back to the Israel, so when the Mauser was selling those rifles, they were selling them with Zeiss 1.5 to 6 powered scopes. I think the model name was Davari, and that was the Zeiss scope. The Israelis did not like that scope very much. And the Israel spent some time developing their own reticles and the Nimrod line of the scopes. But the reticle, basically, this is very interesting thing too, was you can see it was borrowed the idea from the PSO, Russian PSO, Dragunov reticles, and it was heavily influenced by the Russians. There's no way to deny it. And if you will look at that reticle on the Israeli side, of course you got the range scale, but also they put the mils on the left and on the right. The one thing what I don't understand, that mil scale is not as detailed as on the PSO1 reticle. This one goes, if I remember this correctly, in like 2.5 mil increments. So you got 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10 left and going right. So why they did 2.5, I have no idea. It is a little bit larger amount than you would expect to help you with the wind holdovers. But maybe that was some, other job. But still, reticle is very nice. And it was put in those photonic scopes. This was the 6x42 scope. And that the photonic is basically callus. That's the division of callus. That was put, that reticle, Israeli reticle was put in those scopes. And then, of course, the Nimrod 6 and 10 power scopes were used, exactly the same reticle on the scope. And I gotta tell you that I shot this rifle with both type of the scopes, the Kala scope and the Nimrod 10 power scope. And I would say that the Kala's got the slight edge on the glass quality, but man oh man, those Nimrod scopes are absolutely mind-blowing too, as far as the glass quality goes. And this really is surprising, guys. This is a very good glass. The Callis to this day makes one of the best glass in the scopes in the world. So that's no surprise. But I was blown away by the Nimrod. Supposedly the Nimrod glass was cut in Japan, and the scopes were made in Japan for the Israel. So I don't have a good research on the Nimrod, but the reticles, the turrets, and the glass quality is really, really high end. To this day, if you're moving those turrets and that BDC on the turrets, you can hear clicks and they are locking perfectly in the position. Really high quality scope. So I'm honestly blown away by it. But many different scopes were used, even in Israel, on those rifles. And the rifle was in a service through the 80s, possibly even in the 90s. So for a long time, at that time, of course, the Mauser in the mid 80s developed the new models and the new rifles were coming out. But what I want to talk about it too, if you will look at the stock was still made of wood. And that was a rather surprising decision in my eyes. This is a walnut wood. And a lot of people is complaining about these rifles that they are heavy. They are around 13 pounds, depends on the scope setup, what you're using. But guys, if you're complaining about the weight of that rifle, that means you never carried the sniper rifle in the field. This is pretty much the light version of the sniper rifle. And with all the tools and accessories what we have on the sniper rifles today, this is nothing. So don't complain, okay? This is a normal weight. I would say this is a normal weight for the sniper rifle. Of course, compared to the SSG69, yeah, it is a heavier rifle. But that stock, even when it's synthetic on the SSG69, I think was a little bit too light. But anyhow, if you will look at the shape and the way how this stock was made, what was surprising that it was still wood. So the Germans knew, of course, because of the feedback even from Vietnam War, there was a lot of complaints about the wood and how the wood attracts the moisture and how this is affecting, of course, the accuracy of the rifle. So their answer was, let's beef up that wood as much as we can. And this is where I'm surprised, because if you will look, again, I'll point to SSG 69, that's Austria, and they use the synthetic stock, especially to avoid that issue. Then we go to United States, right? The next evolution of the M40 rifle, M40A1, and we got the synthetic stock from Macmillan. So those synthetic stocks were available at that time for across the world, right? So why the Germans went with the wood, I have no clue. It is bulky here up front. It looks like a typical target rifle, right? And again, look, Walter Gachman, right? Target shooter, maybe he had something to do with that stock. That being said, the stock performs to this day absolutely fabulous. It was painted and painting was done, it was like a dual purpose, right? So the paint was helping to seal off, of course, the wood even more from the moisture. but also painting was done for the camouflaging. We know that, again, going back to the US forces in Vietnam, how they were painting their rifles too, and trying to keep that moisture away. But some of them were really tasteful, and they had a nice camo on those rifles too. So this stock was painted, and that's why I like it that the Roger, again, from DWJ Imports, I think did fantastic job of bringing that piece to United States, because you can really see how it was used and what the Israelis did. So jaw dropping. Stock has built-in cheek riser, and you can adjust it by the screw, and it's spring loaded, so you're basically releasing the spring. That this you can push it then down, and then you're basically adjusting the position of your head, and because it's spring loaded cheek riser, so you're setting this up perfectly, locking the screw, and you're done. And you can adjust the butt pad too. It has a tomb hole, extremely comfortable stock. Extremely comfortable stock to shoot in any position you want. I shot that rifle not just from the prone, but from the alternate positions, and it does a fantastic job absorbing the recoil, and it's very controllable, manageable, and delivers the hits on target without any questions. So as far as the design of the stock, the whole bolt design, and how innovative it was with the barrel changes, I think this is a home run. I will tell you, there will be no shame to take this rifle to today's precision rifle shooting competitions, and I can guarantee you can do some damage with it. Of course, you're gonna get spanked on the caliber, because this is a 308, so 308 does not have that much forgiveness on the wind at the extended ranges as those new sexy, everyone like almost in PRS matches is running those 6mm offsprings or calibers. But as far as accuracy and the precision, what this rifle can do, it will definitely give the good run for the money for the today's manufacturers. And what the Mauser did is absolutely jaw-dropping. I love this rifle. It's a pleasure to shoot. And if you have a chance, I'll tell you right away, get that rifle, because it is amazing piece of the hardware, fantastic history connected to it, and it is absolutely fun to shoot. I would love to keep talking about it, but that video will be very long. Still, I think this was very important milestone in the sniping history. And what the Germans did, again, they sometimes overcomplicate, but I think what they put into that rifle was a fantastic, and they did the great job. It is, after all, very simple construction, and the rifle absolutely delivers. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know underneath. Comment anyway, guys, you have to comment. We have to beat the algorithm from the YouTube. All these videos are demonetized. So the only way how we can push those videos forward up to you is you comment, you get involved. People talk about the videos, and the video is moving, because the YouTube may display ads on it, but they are the ones who are making the money on it. The videos are demonetized, so this is absolutely no promotion or anything like that. That said, big thanks to our Patreons, because they are supporting this channel, and I think it's all 30 of you. You guys are the best. Big thanks for your contributions. And as little as $3 can make a big change. It helps with the cost of ammo. I shot for gathering all the experience and the info about this rifle and the feeling, guys, to get. I shot probably close to 2,000 rounds on it, and I think this gives you a good idea what the rifle really can do and what kind of level of confidence you can have in that type of the hardware. This is not the only episode I'm going to make about this rifle. We're going to put it in the matchups against some other rifles. Maybe we'll even pull out the Accuracy International and put it against the Arctic Warfare, do some fight, and we'll see which one will do better. One thing I forgot to tell, these scopes at that time, they did not have the parallax adjustment yet. So you have to be careful when you're going, like you see on the group when I was shooting, I dipped my eye a little bit and that affected where that third shot landed. So you gotta be careful how you aiming with those scopes. It's outstanding glass, outstanding scope, but they were not there yet completely. They did not arrive yet with all the developments and everything. But other than this, the glass quality is absolutely jaw-dropping. Okay, I'm shutting up. You guys go subscribe, comment, and push the like if you like it. If you don't like it, hey, comment either way and say, hey, Rob, you suck on XYZ, right? And I'll try to improve it for the next time. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.